So the first thing I want you to notice is, and this is the first point, the volume of your track before you master it. The recommended volume is -6 decibels. So if you look at the master channel, you can see that it's peaking at -6. The reason why we want this is because it leaves us room from -6 to 0 decibels to do compression. So if I would definitely recommend having your track peak at that volume. An easy way to do that is to select all the channels, and I'll do that by holding in Control and Shift, selecting all my mixer channels, and then moving them all collectively until the master channel peaks at -6 decibels, and then you're ready to go with your mastering. So the nice thing about what I'm about to show you now is that for my mastering, I only use native FL Studio plugins. So if you have FL Studio, you can do exactly what I do when it comes to mastering. You don't need anything else. There are some nice plugins out there, but you do not need them. I do my own mastering for all my tracks, and they've been released on multiple record labels, so I can vouch for myself that what I do works. So the first thing that I'm going to show you is there is EQing done to it as well, but we're going to leave that behind. At first we're just going to jump into the actual mastering, and for that I use Maximus. So we're going to use Maximus to do compression on the track as a whole, right? That's mastering. So what I do is, it's pretty basic, but I start off by creating these curves. So I take this curve, drag it down there, and bring this up like this. And I do that to each band. I do it to the low band, to the mid band, and to the high band. Okay. The next step is pushing up the pre-gain until I feel like the average volume of this band is on this dot over here, which is the threshold. That's what we call the threshold. Sort of roughly. So we can see that the kick spikes there within the curve, but then the baseline hits about over there. So there is parts that is reaching this curve, but then there's also parts that are still down there. That's kind of what we want. We want to apply some compression, but some parts are left alone. So once you feel that you've reached that point with the pre-gain, you have to look at the top left corner to see how much you've boosted. So in this case, I've boosted it by 9 decibels, and then we have to reduce by 9 decibels as well on this end. So this is just the beginning. We might go back to this and tweak it a bit, but for now, this is cool. Now we're going to do the exact same thing on the mid band. I feel like this is a pretty good spot. You could see the clap and the kick together peaking over there, but some elements were still here at the bottom. So there is quite a bit of compression being applied over there, but then also some parts being left alone. So in this case, I pushed it up by 8.8. So I'm going to do a reduction of 8.8. And the reason why we do that is because once we do the boost with the pre-gain, we do not want that volume increase actually. So we balance it back out by bringing it back with the post-gain. But the compression is happening, so that's good. So the high end is usually a bit different, because with my tracks at least, there isn't that much high end. So I would not suggest taking it all the way there. For me, I think it's a good idea to have quite a bit of dynamics in your top end.